Hey y'all, I'm back for part 11. So, where we left off is we were invited to this pastors and their wives retreat. We had literally no business being there at all. We were not pastors. Gerald had literally just started going to church. But I think they saw Gerald's passion and invited us. So we went. And I'm like super excited because my husband is now a Christian. This is a whole new experience, and we haven't done anything together. But what we did need to work on was our marriage. It was so cool to be there with all these pastors and their wives. And it was funny having to tell our story. They were like, "Oh, what church are y'all at? Are y'all youth pastors? You're so young." And we're like, "Actually, no, we're not. We were just invited to this, I guess because God really wanted us to be here." And he did. Y'all, we learned so much. One thing we learned is that no marriage is perfect, whether you're Christian or not, whether you're a pastor or not, which I always knew because, my parents. My dad was an Episcopal priest and my mom was clearly a pastor's wife. And I knew that no marriage was perfect, right? I knew that they had a beautiful marriage and I knew that they put God first. And that's how their marriage has been so strong and beautiful all over the years. So I had an incredible example from my parents. Excuse me. Hold up. Sorry about that. I had to get some water. I was joking. Anyways, so I had a really good example, but it was also so neat to be around others who serve others on a daily basis. Have others pour in to them and their marriage. So the retreat made a lot of sense, like on there, and we learned that when you're on staff at a church, you're giving, but there's not a lot of people that give to you and pour into you because you're pouring into others. So that was very eye-opening for us to hear and learn and be a part of. But still, these people just poured into me and Gerald in our marriage as we were starting to share our story and what we had been through. And we were learning that other people had been through the same thing in their marriages, and they're leading churches and leading youth groups. And not while all that stuff was going on in their marriages, that's what God has brought them through. And so it gave us so much hope. So we left that retreat feeling incredible and like on top of the world, like we could conquer and do anything. I think Gerald did have a realization because we had really deep talks that weekend that no, he's not going to join the Salvation Army, and that he was learning, yes, God would not call couples to separate things, right? Obviously separate careers and stuff like that, but not separately as in the ministry like that. Like he would never call couples separately. So anyways, so we start praying. God, where do you want us? Our marriage needs to heal. And it needs to begin like you said it was going to. You gave us both that word that this is the beginning. So the company that Gerald worked for is a company that basically services banks. Those of y'all that know me know my husband's in the banking business. He does all the operations side, like all behind the scenes stuff. And anyways, every year this company puts on a users meeting, basically all the banks that use their products. Gerald has been going to this users meeting for years because he's the life of the party, and he would drink and party with all the bankers and all that kind of stuff. Well, this year he was going to the users meeting and he was very nervous because he was no longer drinking. He was sober. So this was really the first time that he was going to be put in a situation where the drinks are flowing heavily, and he's used to being the life of the party and staying out till wee hours of the morning, partying with all the people. Because, you know, during the day, it's like learning about all the products and stuff, but at night, it's like entertaining, dinners, casino, dancing, like fun stuff. And I had gone with him to these users meetings. I'd always gone with him to these users meetings, but I hadn't gone with him to these users meetings because drinking and stuff wasn't my scene. Also, I was, like I said, dealing with self-confidence issues and stuff like that, and I just felt like I would bring him down. And I also felt like I was an embarrassment on his arm. I know that's not the case. I will always say, he has never, not one day in my life has he ever made me feel like I was not beautiful and everything to him. And I think that's why, with everything that we've been through, he has always made me feel loved, seen, valued, appreciated, beautiful. My weight has never bothered him. He has never mentioned it. You know, he's only been supportive with all the up and down diets that I've wanted to do. But he's never been critical of my weight. And I am so grateful for that. So anyways, it comes time for this users meeting, and he's communicating with me that he's very nervous. He doesn't know how this is going to go. He hopes that he can stay sober, and he's nervous. I'm nervous too. I'm like, oh my God, please. I'm thinking he shouldn't even go, you know? But he's like, I have to go. This is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm like, oh God. And so I was like, Lord, okay, I trust you. You're putting, not you're putting him. He is going into an impossible situation, and I know you're with him. You're going to be there with him. So Lord, do your thing. Well, Gerald goes, and he stays sober the entire time. And he's engaging with people in ways that he hasn't before, using his extremely wonderful, personable, charismatic personality. And he's going up, you know, right as the festivities start every night. He's not drinking, and he's making fantastic choices. He's calling me in the hotel room every night, being like, this is really hard, but I'm doing it. And I'm like, so proud of him. So I cannot remember how long after the meeting, the users meeting, till he gets this phone call. But I do remember I'm in Walmart, and my phone rings, and it's Gerald, and he's like, hey, what do you think about Groesbeck? And I was like, I don't think anything of it. What is it? And he laughed. He was like, it's a town about 40 miles east of Waco. I was like, I don't know anything about Groesbeck. I've never even heard of it. He was like, well, I got a call from the senior vice president of a bank there in Groesbeck, and he is wanting me to come in and interview because he is wanting me to take over his position when he retires. What? Wait, why? Why? You're not a banker. Like, he wants you to be the senior vice president when he retires? He's like, yeah. Coming up with part 12.